But let's get right to our top story. It's politics. The Republican candidates for president clashing in their first debate of the new year, a night dominated by the growing rivalry between Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, the two frontrunners. We've got complete coverage, and we'll start with NBC national correspondent Peter Alexander. Peter, good morning to you.
Savannah, good morning. Immediately after the debate, Donald Trump himself may have put it best, saying the bromance is over. With the days ticking down to Iowa, no more Mr. Nice Guy between Trump and Ted Cruz. The two men engaging in a fierce back and forth.
The clash in Carolina.
So you should go out, get a declaratory judgment, let the courts decide, and you shouldn't have mentioned the polls because I would have been much different.
Why now? Why are you raising this issue now?
Because now he's doing a little bit better. No, I didn't care before. It's true.
Dominated by a pair of bitter exchanges between Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, one over Canada, the other about New York. First on Cruz's eligibility to be president.
My friend Donald said that he had had his lawyers look at this from every which way. And there was no issue there. There was nothing to this birther issue. Now, since September, the Constitution hasn't changed. But the poll numbers have.
And Trump with a powerful defense of what Cruz criticized as his New York values.
Not a lot of conservatives come out of Manhattan. I'm just saying.
When the World Trade Center came down, I saw something that no place on earth could have handled more beautifully, more humanely than New York. And I have to tell you, that was a very insulting statement that Ted made.
Cruz also fended off questions about the New York Times' reporting that he failed to properly disclose a loan from Goldman Sachs in 2012.
If that's the best hit the New York Times has got, they better go back to the well.
Cruz and Marco Rubio collided over immigration.
You used to support legalizing people that were here illegally. Now you say you're against it.
I appreciate you're dumping your Oppo research folder on the debate
it's your
stage,
record.
But I will say
Do you think they like each other?
At least half of the things Marco said are flat out false.
Rubio and Chris Christie butted heads, both men trying to consolidate establishment support.
I'll answer
the reason, now you already had your chance, Mark, you blew it.
Here in South Carolina, Trump embraced the state's Governor Nikki Haley, who just days ago urged GOP voters not to be tempted by the angriest voices.
I'm very angry because our country is being run horribly, and I will gladly accept the mantle of anger.
But once again, the night's biggest targets, Barack Obama and the Democrats trying to succeed him.
Tuesday night, I watched Story Time with Barack Obama, and I got to tell you, it sounded like everything in the world was going amazing, you know?
If she gets elected, her first 100 days, instead of setting an agenda, she might be going back and forth between the White House and the courthouse.
We're going to win every state if Bernie Sanders is the nominee.
With just 2.5 weeks till Iowa, the trailing candidates desperate to be heard.
Well, I'm very happy to get a question this early on. I was going to ask you to wake me up when the time came.
The main debate stage is now whittled down to 7 candidates, but in that undercard debate, Carly Fiorina came out swinging in her opening statements with a personal swipe at Hillary Clinton. Take a listen.
The truth is, I've had and been blessed by a lot of opportunities to do a lot of things in my life. And unlike another woman in this race, I actually love spending time with my husband.
Just one more Republican debate before the first nominating contest in Iowa. Savannah and Carson.
All right, Peter, thank you so much.